Okay, well, hello there, my little bees. We are back, and we've got cut off at Lippe's team, the Lola, and we gonna do a resume of this one and then move on, trying to speed up a bit because of what happened last time. So in short, I think his team is not that great, obviously because of the scheme, the theme. He's still a great battler, obviously, so he's gonna have some success with it. But I'm gonna be really surprised if he if he, I don't know, if you make it to playoffs, maybe, but if he'll defend his title, I don't think he can do that with this team. Otherwise, we said it's really slow. He has one mon at 100, I think. That's Manaphy. Oh, sorry, he has Encho at 105. That's his fastest mon. And I think that was the main complaint, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah, you put it up really well. Just not the best team out there, but it's in the hands of a really good coach, so there will definitely be some success to it. But I agree that it's going to be a really tough challenge to keep the crown with this team.
Okay, we have the Baltimore Gliscorioles. All the nice jokes I made were lost in last
It's a damn shame.
setting.
A damn shame.
But I'm just gonna repeat them if I remember them. This sounds like a disease, Baltimore Gliscorioles. Are you gonna come to practice? No, man. You know I have Gliscorioles. Oh, sorry, bro. Alright, we have Mega Pinsir, Hooper Unbound, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Gengar, Magnezone, Diancie, I almost said Fiancé, Flygon, Snorlax, Talonflame, Quillfish, Calyrex, and the thing we noticed now and last time, it is a hyper offensive team. You could, these 4 picks are really scary and almost not preppable if you don't have Chansey, and then I don't know. This is really threatening, but you don't have the best speed. You have 105, 110, 126. Actually, I'm gonna take that bad, it's okay, but and your momentum is okay. You have Volt Switch and U-turn. I don't think the Talent Flame gets U-turn too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so these 3, it's okay, but not great, and that's the one of the problems you have with this team. It's really offensive, but you don't have great ways to bring in your offensive threats. For example, you have Mega Pinsir, which of course needs a lot of hazard control, because you don't want to lose 50% of your health, but you only have Defog on Flygon and on Talonflame, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's and you don't have a Rapid Spinner, so you're gonna have problems with your opponents just hazard stacking you. Also, again, because of your speed, Hooper Unbound would have loved, and Pinsir probably too. All of these mons would have loved to have something like Sticky Webs, but you don't have Sticky Webs, and you don't have, again, a Rapid Spinner. So I think you're gonna have problems bringing in these 4 mons. And your defensive core is Snorlax. Maybe Magnezone and Diancie, but they want to be at least Magnezone wants to be offensive. It's more like a tank, not like a wall. So you're gonna have problems with that. Anything else I missed?
Just unfortunately got lost on the original one, but I kept mentioning a lot. For the love of God, just drop Calyrex, please.
Yeah.
Please drop Calyrex and get like a cheap rapid spinner or something. Calyrex is really bad. You can do something better. Even if you miss out on a grass type, it's better to miss out on a grass type than have a bad mon and no spin.
I think it's like 4 points, right? I think we originally like get Chuckle. It
That
gets
was
sticky webs, right?
3.
Yeah, but
Wait, is it 4 Calyrex?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, get Shuckle. Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, drop
So-
Calyrex, get Shuckle, and this team becomes a lot better.
Yeah, even though like I like the aspect of like messing with your opponents with all the status moves it gets. Like it's a good support because of the moves it gets, like Trick and the screens and Leech Seed and Encore and Baton Pass. Like you can, it's good for memes. You can mess with your opponents, but I think, for example. And you have Quillfish too, who gets spikes and toxic spikes. Like your hazard setting potential is pretty good. You have Quillfish and you have like Flygon and Diancie for rocks, but you don't have a spinner and I think webs would make this team. Webs and a spinner would make this team a lot better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just drop Calyrex, get something better. But yeah, this team is really scary offensively.
Yeah.
And of course, with any hyper offense team, you're probably either gonna 6-0 a lot of people or gonna get 6-0 a lot.
Yeah, that's right. They're gonna try to, like, this team is going to try to overwhelm you. You're gonna have short matches with this team, but if your opponent manages like to take out the breath, like to wall you, or switch it on you and get rid of your like counter sweep you. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be the problem with this team. Also, Z all Hooper Unbound is crazy scary, but yeah. Frenchy Froakies. What's the coach? This was Glizy, I think, and this is I don't know.
Lizardu.
Right, okay. We have Excadrill, Mega Charizard X, Tapu Fini, Ferrothorn, Raikou, Crobat, Palosand. I did that last time wrong too. Palosand. Yuxi, Slurpuff, and Skuntank. This is not one of my favorite mons, even though it has mons I like. For example, I think Palosand is a great value pick. I really love it because it's defensive and but it's also like you have to respect its offensive powers with Earth powers and Shadow Balls. It can hit, Giga Drain. So I like the Palosand. Always a fan to see Slurpuff. But I think last time we mentioned that he has what's like a triple core. He has Fire Dragon, Water Fairy, and Steel Grass. And while it looks pretty on paper, in my opinion, in practice you're gonna struggle. Because other than if like you have here a Steel and here a Fairy, so I guess it's in this case it's not as bad, but I think this is like not practical if you want to go for a core. And I think we said that Excadrill is kind of weird on this team because you have no sand, but it's your first pick. Maybe his plans got like obstructed, but he has a spinner because of that, so that's good, I guess. His recovery is kind of decent actually because he has. I think this gets Momentomori, this gets U-turn and Memento, Crobat and Raikou obviously. So this is like fine. And yeah, this is actually one of the it's one of the better hazard controlling teams because of Rapid Spin, Defog, yeah, that's it. And you have Sticky Webs. Not sure if Skuntank gets. Let's look that up. Does it get stun? Scun?
No, it does. It gets defog, but not toxic spike.
Okay. Sticky Webs, rocks, a lot of rock setters, and yeah. And your speed is
So
kinda
yeah,
decent too. Yeah.
I just wanted to mention pretty much just everything you said. That triple core looks cool, but it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays. I feel it would have been better to get 3 separate mons, for each, or just maybe have one dual core. But
yeah,
it's an interesting team, especially that core. Also, having no special wall breakers is a bit tedious for your team. You're probably gonna struggle a little bit with like really bulky, especially bulky teams or Pokemon. Since Raikou's has pretty good, rather, special attack, but it doesn't wall break. And other than that, you don't really have any strong special attackers.
Get scored now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. You're like, and I don't see a fighting type like Licky, Blissey, anything like that will probably just gonna wall you. Yeah, so again, I think single pieces are like valid, like these two look great, and like Charizard, Access, blah blah blah, but kind of weird. Not one of my favorite teams, I'd say. Alright, then we have the Redondo Beach Drifblim. Coach is the coach of the Redondo Beach Drifblims. Mega Lopunny, Mew, Kartana, Moltres, Primarina, Nidoking, Druddigon, Electros, Cryogonal, Doublade, Stonjournaire. Who's the coach again?
Cleable?
Cleable?
I don't know.
Cleable. I think last time we said that, or I said at least that I really like, again, particular mons of this team. We had a whole Ultra Beast discussion, and Kartana and Guzzlord is it's called Schlinking in German, which is just a fantastic name. Kartana and Guzzlord are the only Ultra Beasts that don't make me sick. Like, I really hate the Ultra Beasts, but those are the exceptions. Moltres is a really good fire type nowadays, I think. In my opinion or experience, I already, if I go for cores, I always struggle to find a fire type I like. That's just personal preference, I think. But Moltres is a nice one with the new boots and the ground move Scorching Sands. Nidoking, really great in my opinion. Druddigon, I love Druddigon. I love the aspect of more of a defensive dragon, more like a utility dragon. Glare, Stealth Rocks, phasing. Electros, I'm a big fan of, and I should draft it more often because a defensive electric type is also something that can come in quite handy, and it has great utility coverage. So it gets a lot of moves, gets both of the it gets U-turn and Volt Switch, has a lot of can coil up on you. Of course, having no switch, weaknesses. Again, really good coverage. Slap an Assault Vest on it and you can bring it a lot of the times. Great value pick. Stonjournaire is cute, so I like it. And Doublade is underwhelming. I've used it a few times and I just think it's in Gen 6 people praised it because it could use Sword Dance and then Shadow Sneak, Sweep, and because it's so bulky, but yeah, I think it's just underwhelming if you actually trying to use it. And I think what we said, or definitely something that you notice with this team is you don't have a special defensive wall. You have Doublade is 59 HP and then 49 special defense, even though with the Eeveelution that's not gonna be really tanky. Then you have Stonjournaire, who has at least 100 HP, but 20 special defense. And then you have Katana 59 and 31. So that's kinda bad. Like your special defensive wall is an ice type. 80 135 is of course kinda nice and it does get recover, but yeah, not that great. And Dragon Electros with AV can't really be your special defensive backbone. That was the main complaint with this team for me.
Yeah, same here. That's what I had noticed, like you mentioned. Having no real solid special defense wall is a bit tedious. I mean, you could use Cryogonal, but again, like it was mentioned, a nice type is your main defensive typing isn't...
No resistances.
Or yeah, it's not ideal. And then Mew could be specially defensive, but again, it's not like a solid... Like, it'll take special hits, but it's not like a complete solid tank.
Yeah, also you limit yourself, because like with Mew you can do anything, but if you just have to bring it specially defensive every week, you limit yourself, so...
Yep. I did mention last in the Lost Files, I guess we can call them, that Moltres is a personal favorite of mine with the introduction of boots. It's just so good being able to switch in whenever you want, not having to worry about it. Gets defog, gets a really good moveset. You turn 2 for momentum. I mean, people really sleep on the specs and scarf sets. I know I just mentioned boots, but if your opponent expecting that may not see a choice items on it, and it can be a really good scarfer or a really good specs user. I mean, you have things like Fire Blast and Hurricane that are stab, and now Scorching Sands is just another nice move to add to its special arsenal.
Oh yeah.
And the last thing I had mentioned was that, in my opinion, I think Kartana is the best value pick in the entire draft because having the C move possible. I usually see Kartana at 14, but without C. It's rare nowadays anyone uses C, let alone have Kartana as a Z user. And at 14, I think it's the best pick in the entire draft, just because of how powerful Kartana is with the C. I mean, you see that attack. It's, I believe, the third best attack in the entire game. And something like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it gets Sword Stance, right?
I think
like
so,
90% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you imagine a Sword Stance into a C, like Leaf Blade or Steel Strike, or even a Hyper, what was the move? Giga Impact.
Oh, yeah.
Like, things that may seem it gets wall by, they can just pull out a C Giga Impact and just get rid of that and then just finish the team.
Yeah, this is really scary, because also the Beast Boost. So with the Z move, you're just gonna like nuke something, get the boost, and then if you don't get outsped, which you can run a Scarf for and still get the Beast Boost, but you know what I mean. Like it's just gonna run through you and you can't stop it. So definitely for 14 points we may have mistiered that. Okay. Everything?
Oh, I just noticed we didn't do the C user for the last team or this one.
Yeah, I think there's not much to say.
I remember.
Huh?
I just remembered. I went on a tangent saying, like, why would you see all Excadrill when you can... I mean, C attack when you could use C all Excadrill for C Sandstorm and then get your Sand up and then the speed boost and etc.
Yeah, that's...
But yeah, that was my big complaint about that.
Mew all, sure. And Kartana Z attack, yeah, it's really strong choices. Again, we didn't even talk about Megaloppa. I don't think we need to. Everyone knows how scary that is. But like really threatening offensively. Like, wow, these 6 months really strong. But you're very lacking in the special defense apartment, I'd say. All right. Then next we have Ho-Ohrizon. First of all, love that team name. Ho, probably one of, if not my favorite legendary, and the team logo is really cool too. Drifblim is cool, like a logo too. Throwing that out there. Mega Medicham, Hydreigon, Diggersby, Rotom Heat, Nihilego, Empoleon, Tapu Bulu, Runerigus, Licky Durant. This feels like a Gen 6 draft, like these four and Empoleon. I'm not sure what we said last time. I think the problem was speed again. You have 100, 109 Nihilego.
The Durant was the fastest one.
I think Durant is 108. Durant is 109 and Nihilego is 103. Oh, okay. So 109 Durant, your fastest mon. Not that great because it feels like you have great breakers. Like you have Mega Medicham, you have Hydreigon with the Z attack, you have Diggersby, and you have Tapu Bulu and Durant with the Z all, which is we'll talk about that later. So I feel like you have a lot of breaking power, even though it's a bit leans to the physical side, but still. But you don't have like a cleaner, something fast that just sweeps. You could argue that like Agility Diggersby does that, but you know what I mean. Like you don't have elite speed, as the expert would say.
Yeah, I think the big suggestion we had said is to drop Durant for maybe like something that can clean up or a sticky web user, because like your offense is amazing. I mean, I'm glad. I think we don't battle, and I'm glad because I wouldn't want to prep for Mega Medicham, Hydreigon, Diggersby, Tapu Bulu, Nihilego.
Well, I think that's also your Rotom Heat, Empoleon, good pivots and like typing wise fit together really well, and then like Runerigus, Licky. I think you made the most of like having only 10 mons, made the most of your spots by having these. Like you have really tanky Licky, Runerigus, they work together well, and then you have Empoleon, Rotom Heat, who like are in the middle of tankiness, I'd say, more like a pivot, and then you have a lot of like offensive power. But again, like the thing you're missing is like a fast, something I don't know, at least above 110, like 110.
Yeah,
come on.
Any decent Scarfer will beat this team.
Yeah,
like like the previous team we just mentioned, Kartana can kind of just run through. If it's Scarf, then
Kartana is matches Durant, and it can just like kill that,
and also,
kill that. It's like
it just goes through. Yes,
breezes through. Yeah.
Yep. I had also mentioned that I'm a huge fan of Licky, and I think that Licky and Kofagriga's core is super annoying.
Oh yeah.
It complements each other pretty well. I love Licky, just such a good mon. Never dies. Has so much utility. Has so many moves that it can bring for any matchup for it to be good. Huge Licky fan.
I think you need something like Pangoro or to break through that, because again, Ghost normal. I actually like the Durant. Well, if you trade it away, you're gonna like your fastest mon is gonna be 103, I think. So red flag. But the like giving it Z all, giving Durant Z all makes it also a threat. So like usually maybe you could disregard it, but now it has like the Z all, so you really have to take into account every mon of his. But yeah, that's it. It's slow, but tanky and really like at least physically threatening. Especially you have Hydreigon and Nihilego. Yeah, actually it's fine. It feels like a balanced team. You made a lot out of your points, but you're slow.
It reminds me a lot of Glizy's team, that it's kind of like not completely hyper offense, but has a lot of breakers, but difference is that you don't have.
Yeah, also no spinner.
Speed. Oh yeah. Boo.
Houston Gallades, Cinderace. This is Shade. Sorry, who's the coach for this one?
Bartho.
Okay. Sorry. Houston Gallades and the Shade. We have Cinderace, Mega Venusaur, Togekiss, Skarmory, Galvantula, Kyurem, Swampert, Drapion, Conkeldurr, Behemoth. First of all, love the Behemoth. Definitely keep that. Make it Z as far as I'm concerned. I think last time or I discovered, I don't know if it was here or earlier, but I discovered that Swampert gets like flip turn, so I'm a huge fan. Again, I like particular mons, Swampert, Drapion, Conkeldurr, Togekiss, big fan. You're kinda lacking. I think you're lacking like power. You have Cinderace, but and which is like crazy strong, okay, but it's still more like a sweeper, not really a breaker. Maybe I'm mistaken, maybe I'm underestimating it, but feels more like a sweeper to me. And then you have Kyurem, and if you really want to count it, then Conkeldurr and Behemoth. But like, you know what I mean? It feels like you're missing the Mega Medicham on your team. You're missing the Tapu Bulu. You're missing the Lopon. You know what I mean? Also, I feel like this team speed-wise depends on webs, or like really needs the webs. If you look at Cinderace, maybe Togekiss, Kyurem, but again, you don't have a spinner, so you have lots of defog options, but no spinner. Which is, again, it hurts so much because you also have the Drapion with toxic spikes. You have webs, you have great Death Rock opportunities. I think Drapion gets spikes too, right? Should have. Oops, not that. Should be. Okay, it doesn't only get toxic spikes, but still. Like, get a spinner for God's sake. Don't defog your own stuff away. Or if you do, don't eat them. Like, you have Cinderace, you have Togekiss, Galvantula, Kyurem, all weak to Stealth Rocks, and you can't run heavy duty boots on every one of them. Yeah.
So yeah, this is what you mentioned. I think Kyurem is a really good mon. It's one of my favorites to draft now. Just being able to set up with Dragon Dance and still go special, or be mixed, or be bulky. Kyurem's just a good mon overall. It's probably my favorite mon in this. Dance. Yeah, and Skill Shot if you want to do that. I think it gets Skill Shot. Yeah, it does. Liberal Cinderace, of course, always going to be a huge threat. Having Stab, I believe it's your C. Yeah, it's your C. So having a Stab C moves every time is just incredible for it. I still disagree. It should have been allowed, but we'll see next season if it's banned again. And yeah, just like you mentioned, this team loves sticky webs, but it hates not having a spinner because it'll be easy to get rid of them. And then court changes would be tedious to use because if you do bring it, but then you set up sticky web on the other's team, then it's going to be like, you're going to have to maybe make the choice. Do I want to be slower and get the other hazards away, or just not do anything?
It just makes it more complicated.
It makes it really, really hard. Momentum is decent. You got, or really good actually. I think you got U-turn, Cinderace. I think Togekiss gets Baton Pass.
Yeah.
And then Skarmory. Does Skarmory get U-turn? I keep forgetting. No. I don't think so. No, it doesn't. Never mind then. You got Bolt Switch, Galvantula, and Flip Turn Swampert. It's pretty decent. I was on the complete end of what you mentioned about Behemoth. I think you should drop it and probably get something different. Well, obviously, if you drop it, you get something different. But yeah, I just don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think Behemoth fits the team. I think you should probably get something like, I don't know, speed, like a bit something higher than Galvantula, maybe. Like,
well,
I don't know.
Realistically speaking, sure. But then again, I don't think you have a psychic type, and you like what are you gonna get instead with 3 points? So if you want, like, if you're missing a psychic type, 3 points, Behem is actually like a good fit. I think it's fine. But yeah, realistically speaking, of course, I'm just talking favorites here. Behem is especially bulky, kinda, I guess, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Well, okay.
Kinda.
Moving on. Yeah, I didn't know, again, don't know anything. Dragon Dance and Scale Shot. I half take back what I said about Breakers. Like, it's on the edge. Yeah, Cinderace is really powerful, obviously, but yeah, and Kyurem and Conkeldurr, but yeah, still, I think my argument still stands. This feels like, I don't know if I wanted to say it about this team or another, not sure, but this feels like more like a team that's not gonna like sweep you or break you, it's gonna wear you down, I feel like. With Skarmory, like Flinch Kiss, Mega Venusaur, Drapion, Conkeldurr, lots of knockoffing. Like, I feel it's gonna like wear you down. It's gonna like withstand you, and at the end just gonna survive you. So this feels like this sort of team to me. And just comes in when you're exhausted with Cinderace, for example, and just kills you, finishes you off. It was a weird little story, but I think, yeah, obviously it's still pretty good. It's still almost very good. Yeah. I feel like the no spinner hits this team quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's the main complaint.
Probably its biggest weakness.
Yeah, but as I mentioned a lot before, I'm a sucker for like type coverage and balancing each other out. Sorry if you can hear my dog in the back. I can't make him shut up. Like Drapion ground, and you have 2 flying types, but then you have Swampert. Like Swampert and Skarmory, for example, are great together. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, Minnesota MuscleKarp, and I think this is Noir, right?
Yeah.
Urshifu, Single Strike, Melmetal, Sylveon, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Vikavolt, Espeon, Mega Sceptile, Rhyperior, Thunderous Eye, Carbink, and Ninjask. This too kind of feels like a Gen 6 draft, like from Sylveon down. Like Sylveon, Arcanine, Gastrodon. This is like a draft template. Like all the classics. I'm not sure about. I think this is one of these teams where like we spent a lot of time on last time, and we just kind of unfolded, and we discovered more and more about it. There's like few niche things that's like not right on the surface. I think I tried to explain how I think this is a team where a big mechanic of matches will be switches, because you have like Intimidate, you have lots of negating abilities like Storm Drain, Flash Fire if you want to, you have Magic Bounce, 2 Lightning Rod users, and I always think it's Water Absorb, but it isn't, it is Prankster. But you know what I mean? I couldn't quite put it in words, but this like it's gonna create a lot of predictions on switch-ins. I think, yeah, we went on a whole like tantrum about how great Ninjask is. Like I can't, I like dug deep into this whole how much I like Ninjask, because people forget, or not forget, but it's so under the radar. But it's 160 speed and 90 attack. Your opponent is probably not going to prep for it, or keep in mind. but then Sword Dance, Accessor, and it wins. No, but I think this is a great utility pick for 3 points. Bumps up your speed, which is already feels pretty good with Thunderous, Mega Sceptile, Espeon. So yeah, I'm not gonna repeat like the whole orgy of how great Ninjask is, but I like it a lot. Yeah, and then you like took the torch and with Carbink.
I remember this is definitely the team we spend the most time of out of any so like that we recorded. Probably. Like even including the previous ones. Unfortunately, things happen. But I had mentioned that something interesting that Carbink can do is with Sturdy and like a mental herb, it can set up a trick room for Melmetal, which would be insanely scary.
Oh yeah.
Melmetal in their trick room.
Yeah.
And also, it can do its trick room shit with Sturdy and then mental herb, and then it can, when it's at 1 HP, it can do Stealth Rock, it can set up a screen, it can explode if it wants to even. Mm-hmm. I just feel Carbink very situational, but I feel the opponent always has to be careful in prepping for it, because it is something that can come, and if you don't prepare for Melmetal under Trick Room, you're probably going to have a bad time.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a real headache to, first of all, prep versus, because he has 12 mons, and also to battle versus, like again with type coverage, you have a great synergy, like a great FTS score with Melmetal, Sylveon, Mega Sceptile, and then you have you have Rhyperior and Gastron. Well, let's hit it with a grass type attack. Well, you have Arcanine and you have Vikavolt, then Mega Sceptile, and this is going to be a headache to play versus. And if you don't, it's not that big on setup, I guess, except for, I don't know, Nasty Plot, Thunderous, and like shenanigans with Rhyperior and Vikavolt kinda. So I guess it is in some sense. Love when I critique something and then while I'm talking realize that it's not that big of a deal, or even the opposite. I really like this team. I'm not sure if I would like to use it, but I would love to see it perform. That was like the most German pronunciation of every word anyone's ever said. I would love to see it perform. Yes, please. Give me a good show. Thank you.
God damn
it. Z moves are grade 2. Shifu is an asshole. I'm gonna use every opportunity to mention that. Anything else?
Just on the last note, I think it's one of the few teams, or one of the rare instances where you draft 12 mons and you have a single bad mon. Mm-hmm. Like, I think they're all really, really good and can all work whenever they need to do, they'll do well. I know it sounds basic and like you could probably say that about most things, but I definitely think there's been some picks that I think are just bad and won't work even when you bring them into specific situations. But with this team, I feel everything that is here will work pretty good no matter what.
Yeah, not everyone has 12 picks, and if they do, it usually results in something like Basculin Whirlipede. Shitting on Genghis again, sorry. But this time, I mean, bad tongues would say that, would argue that Carbink is trash, but like you mentioned it, very defensive, get up a trick room and Melmetal through your opponent. No spinner, I think, which of course Vikavolt webs and Stealth Rocks, boo, but you can't have it all. I would love to see it perform. Moving on to the next team, New England Eeveelution. I'm gonna look at the time real quick. 44.
Oh, we're going on to new teams. Yes.
New England Eeveelution. This should be Triplethreat, if I'm not mistaken. I think Triplethreat is. You could look that up, but he's the opponent I faced the most in all of my, most often, in all of my PSL seasons. I don't know why, but I feel
Fun
like
facts with Lorz.
yeah. This time not, because we're different divisions, but we have Garchomp, Mega Charizard Y, Melodic, Halucha, Venusaur, Indeedee Male, Galarian Weezing, Electivire, Lickitung, and then his last pick was Corviknight, which is kinda crazy. That is actually kinda crazy. Let's talk about that. He didn't have a Steel type until his last pick, and then he thought, oh, Corviknight is still available. Let's pick that. Okay. This is a team where a lot is going on. You have Charizard and Venusaur, like a mini sun stuff. Weird sentence. You have Indeedee Male and Halucha with the Seed. I think gives you a special defense boost. And then you have Galarian Weezing to just tear it all down again with neutralizing gas. I think this team is nice. Yeah. This again, yeah, and the Lickitung, great value pick for this team, I feel like. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it quite a lot.
It's definitely a scary team. Something that sticks out right away. No elite speed. Halucha is your fastest mon, and I guess it can be max speed if you want, but most of the time you're gonna run it for Unburden. And if you run it without terrain for some reason, just to bring speed, I think it's too weak to actually just be. I mean, I guess it can clean games if it really wants to, but I feel most of the time you're gonna bring it with plus attack nature for that Unburden boost. So I feel that's this team's biggest weakness, that for your speed you rely on either Sun or that Halucha with Unburden, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of speed right off the bat. Halucha is 118, so I mean it is fast and of course Unburden, but it's your peak, and then you have 102 and 100, so you don't have a lot of speed right off the bat. Again, a team where I like pretty much every pick. Every pick has its place in this team. They work together really well. There's nothing that stands out, no sore thumb. Is that a thing? Sore thumb? Thorn? What you say? Nothing sticks out badly. Even the Electivire and Lickitung are they fit. They're great for the budget picks. And then again, last round, Corviknight is just weird. Garchomp Z attack, Venusaur Z all.
Mistake in my opinion. Should have probably made Garchomp Z off or a C Sandstorm, but that's just me.
Yeah, that would have been your third field condition to use. Yeah, maybe swap it. The Venusaur I think is fine. Looking at the team, the only other option I see is Electivire, but that doesn't make too much sense. So I like it. Just swap it. I guess it's for the sunny day, but
I guess,
you have the Mega Charizard Y, so why?
Yeah.
I'd swap it, but I guess he has a plan. If not, then yeah, swap it. I think momentum, you're gonna struggle a bit, I feel like, to bring in your Mega Charizard Y, for example. Corviknight gets U-turn? Question mark.
Yes.
And then you have Electivire. And
Halucha gets U-turn too, but I can't imagine seeing Halucha use U-turn often.
I bet something in here gets teleport or something like that, but I can't remember. So, and your hazard removal is okay. You have Galarian Wheezing and you have Corving Knight, I guess. And yeah, I know it. Charizard Y gets defog. Don't bother me.
And Holucha if you want to get rid of your own terrain.
Oh yeah, sure. So, I think hazard control in general is a bit lacking, because like setting and getting rid of. Does Lickitung get rocks? I'm not sure.
No.
No, right?
No.
No. So you have Corving Knight, Toxic Spikes, I guess, and okay, setting is a bit better because you have. I think you have Toxic Spikes twice, but getting rid of it is not optimal, and you want, like, it's okay, but for a team that has Mega Charizard Y, it's not that great.
Venusaur doesn't get Toxic Spikes, by the way.
Doesn't? Okay.
No.
Well,
so it's just go ahead, please.
There you have it, folks. I don't know anything. Anything else I'm missing?
I'm on the opposite end of you. I'm not a huge fan of this team. It's just the speed really bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's bad though. It can definitely be Mega Charizard Y is always really hard to prep for, and then combine it with Garchomp. It's gonna be really scary to see those two together again. Garchomp maybe being prominent again with Sword Stance and Skill Shot. I'm excited to see what it will do. I think it's gonna be overpriced, but it is testing, and I'd rather something be overpriced at first and busted and be cheap.
Okay. Yeah, then I think we are through with the whole shabab. Don't know if that's a word. And I think we are at like 50 minutes right now, so I'm gonna cut it there. And next time we will look at the Learner's Draft, finally. The new
Well, Hellfire
players.
is still Peril Division.
Is he?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
wait.
5, 6, 7, 8.
No, I'm
don't think
stupid.
so.
Never mind.
Yeah, I think you
Fuck. I'll blame the doc.
Yeah, the
Whoops.
dog is to blame. It's really not clear how. No, just kidding. Okay. Next time we look at the Learner's Draft and rip on those with no mercy. And yeah, see you then.
We're not gonna go easy. Yep. Thanks for listening. Sorry that the teams we went over at the end weren't as thorough as previously, but we had a lot of time restraints and we didn't want to keep people waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I think in the end it turned out fine because
I think it's fine. Yeah,
we just like saved them a lot of so yeah.
Your bad jokes? No, I'm kidding. They're not bad.
And we're
They're not.
just gonna go over that, and we're still at 50 minutes, so yeah, it's fine. Okay, see you next time.
Wait, what? We are?
Yep,
What?
bye bye.
Oh my god.